welcome to the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium for week 16 of the Primera Liga, and with what is without doubt the game of the week between Real Madrid, second in the table, entertaining Deportivo, third in the table. If Madrid win, they'll go back to the top, and of course they're flying here after last week's 2-1 win in the Camp Nou. First time Madrid have won in Barcelona in the league for 20 years, and now they want to make it count against Depor.
Yeah, and it's been a really, really good run for Real Madrid as well. There was a sense early in the season when Madrid were playing spectacularly well. A lot of people said, well, let's wait till the tough games turn up. Well, you want tough games. They went away to Osasuna, where they traditionally lose. Osasuna flying high, fourth at the moment. Got a 1-1 draw, a really good battling performance. Then they beat local rivals Atletico 2-0, then went to the Camp Nou, as you say. First victory in the Camp Nou for 20 years. Now they face Deportivo, who are third. Next week, Mallorca, and then a Christmas break, well deserved by this Real Madrid team. Exactly.
Carlos Queiroz' side have started to get a pretty familiar look to them as well. The teams will give you the Madrid lineup. It's Iker Casillas in goal, Míchel Salgado, Roberto Carlos, the fullbacks, Raúl Bravo and Pavón in central defence. Here they come in midfield. It's Zidane, Iván Helguera and David Beckham, with Luís Figo out on the wing, and of course leading the attack, it's Raúl and Ronaldo.
Yeah, it's a staggeringly strong side, isn't it? I mean, you just look at that midfield. Zidane, Helguera, Beckham, Figo. It's just bursting with creativity. And then up front, you've got men like Raúl and Ronaldo.
And of course, it's a side that has started to really excite the passions of the Madrid crowd, and what better way to do that than to win in the Camp Nou, what every Real Madrid fan wants to see. The referee is Mr. Rodríguez Santiago, and we'll give you the Deportivo lineup. In goal, it's Molina. Defence made up of Manuel Pablo, Andrade, Naybet and Capdevila. In midfield, Sergio and Aldo Duscher, with a line of three, Scaloni, Valerón and Luque, and Diego Tristan leading the attack.
Yeah, there's one very, very interesting battle. You mentioned there Aldo Duscher, the man who very, very nearly kept David Beckham out of the World Cup with a foul while Beckham was still a Manchester United player, that broke Beckham's metatarsal bone, looked like he was going to miss out on the World Cup. Beckham will
probably remember that.
Yeah.
Aldo Duscher is probably there he is, that man there, the number 23, is the man who probably taught most English people what the metatarsal bone is.
Yep, none of them knew what it was or where it was. They all know now.
It's a bone on the top of your foot. Carlos Queiroz, as usual, pensive in the Madrid dugout, but he can be very happy with his first 4 or 5 months' work at the Santiago Bernabéu.
Yeah, I'll be delighted with the way things have gone so far. Not least because, you know, as I say, there's been some spectacularly good performances, but there've also been, that one at Osasuna really stands out, some performances where they've really dug in, they've really worked, maybe on occasion ridden their luck a little bit, but had such ability with this guy up front, particularly, and also Iker Casillas at the back in goal, who's been absolutely superb so far this year.
Just had a glimpse in the other dugout of the Deportivo coach, Javier Irureta, a man who's in his 6th season at Deportivo.
Yeah, and every season, at the end of every season, he says, not sure if I'm going to carry on. It depends if we fulfil the obligations that I think the team needs to fulfil. Every year they do, and every year he stays.
And he says, I like to do my homework, I think is the way he describes it. So, Deportivo kicking off week 16 in the Santiago Bernabéu. Madrid, as I say, second in the table with 33 points, 1 point behind Valencia. Deportivo 3 points behind Madrid, so it's a good chance for Madrid if they win, just to open up a little bit of space over the teams below them.
Yeah, it would be an important step, not least coming just a couple of weeks before Christmas. I think if Madrid can go into that Christmas break with a little bit of a cushion opened up, it'd be very, very important psychologically for them.
Pavón got Luque against him, just standing his ground, as did Míchel Salgado, but conceding an early corner against Deportivo.
It's a good player, Albert Luque. He gives Deport real thrust and pace on the left. It's interesting, really, because he came to the club from Mallorca as a centre forward, and when Javier Irureta, this man here, first put him on the left wing, he wasn't at all happy about it, but he's been absolutely brilliant since he moved over there.
Very, very quick, Luque. And there, slight misunderstanding between Roberto Carlos and Iker. We would get away with it, and there's the offside flag up, and free kick for Real Madrid. Roberto Carlos, I think, is telling Iker, I didn't hear you there. Just taking it off the goalkeeper's.
Yeah, and Iker couldn't stop because he was already in the air, wasn't he?
There's Roberto, who always wears his increasingly more and more tattered jacket.
Yeah, it's always the same rain jacket, whether it's raining or not.
Now in the Deportivo dugout, a familiar face to Madrid fans on the left, the winger Pedro Munitis, who spent a couple of years at the Bernabéu. Didn't quite happen for him.
No, it didn't. And it's a shame because I think he's a good little player. He's very quick, very direct, makes things happen.
Very dangerous on the penalty area. And you know, how dangerous would he be with players like Beckham and Roberto Carlos to take the free kicks?
Yeah, superb.
It's Paco Pavón. Looking to open things out. There's Zidane on the left. Just a little bit, asked a bit too much of him there, Pavón. Jorge Andrade. Very classy Portuguese central defender. Diego Tristan held off Raúl Bravo, but then collided with his own teammate. Luís Figo trying to find someone to pass to us. In the end, Beckham makes himself available. Picks out Raúl. Figo's gone forward in support of Raúl. Here he is. For Míchel Salgado on the overlap. Salgado gets in there, pulls it back. Ooh, that was so close to Raúl. It's still not got Helguera. Very close from Iván Helguera.
It was a very, very important interception from Andrade. Really, really good lunge. You were saying that Andrade adds class to that defence. He's a player I like a lot, not just for the class, but for the pace. He has real pace and bite to that Depor defence. And I think that's particularly important because I think Depor are a very, very nice footballing team, but one that occasionally, I think, can be accused of being a little bit soft.
Yeah, they do have the odd player who perhaps doesn't perform on the big occasion. Roberto Carlos. Can never accuse him of that. Raúl Bravo does well to get it back to Pavón. Raúl dropping deep, looking for Ronaldo, no offside, but just a little bit slow there, Ronaldo.
Yeah, he was just a little sluggish, because actually two very nice passes. Beckham very, very low, very hard and crisp into Raúl. Raúl then did virtually the same thing to Ronaldo. As you say, I just wonder if Ronaldo maybe thought he was offside. He seemed to have a quick glance.
He did, didn't he? Yeah,
and then the momentum was gone, and the ball was gone as well.
And Naybet and Andrade were onto him very, very quickly. That was just going to go a little bit long for Ronaldo, and Manuel Pablo able to see it out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's good to see Manuel Pablo back, isn't it, after a couple of years hardly playing after he broke his leg in a Galician derby. Really, really nasty break. I think he's only played 15 league games in the last 2 years because of the associated problems with that.
Yeah, it was he broke both bones in his leg.
Yeah.
He was at the time a #1 choice for Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people thought his career was over.
And it is nice to see that he's played more or less consistently this year.
Maybe just lost a little bit. He's not the player he was,
no,
but he's certainly.
But he's a consistent performer still, isn't he?
Here's Raúl, this time looks up to Roberto Carlos on the left. Roberto Carlos looking to get into the box on his right foot. Just can't quite direct that on target, the Real Madrid fullback. But good vision from Raúl.
And the game has already shown signs of being very, Roberto Carlos is not comfortable. Very, very open. There's a lot of space. Madrid's passing's been nice and crisp so far.
Just uses his pace there, Roberto Carlos, just to cut inside. He just
scuffed it, didn't he?
Seems to slip, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Well, he caught the top of the ball rather than swinging, getting his foot right through the ball. He definitely caught the top of it, but you're right. I think he may well have slipped just before he took that shot.
There's Figo jumping. Ball with Sergio.
Salgado did well again, didn't he? It's very, very tenacious.
It's a big game, this, for Míchel Salgado. Of course, he's from Vigo, just up the coast from from La Coruña, and the two sides are, of course, traditional enemies.
Yeah, played a number of years at Celta Vigo. Míchel Salgado is still very associated with the city, and as you say, yeah, Depor fans don't much like Celta Vigo players, or former Celta Vigo players.
And vice versa. There's Zidane to Ronaldo. Looking for Raúl, and
I think it was
Naybet just got the foot in, wasn't it? Yep. Capdevila. Sergio. Just trying to organise things for Depor. Manuel Pablo. Nice patient build-up from Deportivo. Manuel Pablo carrying that run forward. Can he pull it back? Míchel Salgado with the clearance.
Lovely
Beckham.
move.
Lovely move.
Nice and slick, nice clean passing.
And there Salgado makes a clearance, carries on forward as it's Madrid's turn to counter-attack. There is Míchel. To Zidane. David Beckham looking for one of those crosses into the area, just a little bit low. And now it's Luque's turn to show his pace.
Slightly surprised actually that Luque tried to play the early ball there, because you got to think that he's got the pace to get away, get to the byline, but looked. I think he saw Diego Tristan just peeling away, tried to play it early. But the thing about Luque is he's so direct, he's so quick. He'd be better off bombing on all the way, certainly until he reaches the penalty area.
That's how he scores most of his goals. Yeah. Head down, into the area, and a pretty powerful shot. Lionel Scaloni, hard-battling Argentinian utility player for Deportivo.
Yeah, he's good player. I mean, he's the guy that mostly filled in for Manuel Pablo while he's been out. I like him a lot.
It's Capdevila putting the ball into the box, and Iker Casillas just gets down to save from Sergio. Zidane. It's been a very bright start to the first 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, from both sides.
Beckham. Once again to Raúl. Carries on his run Raúl. Lovely little bit of skill there from the Real Madrid captain. Just sold a quick dummy. Didn't quite at the pace to get onto the ball, but for 1 second I thought he was going to be in. Taking it quickly. Luís Figo now. Just overrunning it slightly. Diego Tristan. Manuel Pablo. More defending to do, but that's high and wide from Luque.
Normally when Luque works himself a space, it's well worth him shooting, because he hits the ball very, very hard. As you say, he just didn't get that right. Did well to get away from Zidane actually, but he's just leaning back and he's just slightly off balance as he strikes that.
And he had to really shoot, because if he'd have taken on Salgado, it would have forced him a little bit too wide.
Yeah.
So Iker with the goal kick for Real Madrid. It's 10 minutes on the clock, but there's nothing on the scoreboard. It's still Real Madrid 0, Deportivo La Coruña 0. Manuel Pablo.
Palaron's starting from a much deeper position than normally. I mean, he's coming right in to get the ball, whereas normally he plays just off Tristan.
That's a sort of a second striker.
Yeah,
I wonder
tonight he's a third central midfielder rather than a second striker.
I wonder if that's to try and pull Iván Helguera a little bit out of position.
Quite possibly.
Helguera partnering Beckham in the middle, and I'm sure Helguera's got the job of keeping an eye on Palaron.
Yeah, keeping him under wraps, because he is the creative fulcrum of so much of what Depp will do.
Ball just dropping nicely for Figo. They couldn't get the ball across, but it's gone to Míchel Salgado. There is Beckham to chip the ball into the area. Andrade got up well though. Depor able to play that one out. Diego Tristan.
It's a bit of a puzzle, isn't he, Diego Tristan? Wonderfully talented player. Top scorer in Spain a couple of years ago. The years before that was consistently getting 17, 18, 19 goals a season. Last year, had a very poor year. Only got 9, but it wasn't just that he only got 9. It never really felt like he was...
Just now and then doesn't seem to get... It's a bit of an awkward character by all
Yeah.
accounts. Him and Noureddine don't always see eye to eye.
And he's put on a fair bit of weight. He was very, very close to joining Real Madrid a couple of years ago. Now it just feels like he's perhaps very slightly on the slide. He's still wonderfully talented, of course, but just starting to feel like maybe drifting away a little bit from the team.
It's Capdevila just...
Of course, the big loss for Depor is Roy Mackay, who's gone to Bayern Munich.
Figo just
top scorer.
Figo just trying to force the foul off Capdevila, but the referee, Rodríguez Santiago, wants nothing to do with that one.
Yeah, Figo's very, very adept at drawing the foul, isn't he? Wins a lot of free kicks around the edge of the box. Very, very important that, or on occasion it's very, very important that.
But when you've got players like Roberto Carlos and Beckham in your team, it's very, very important.
Exactly.
2 free kick maestros in there, the 2 presidents, César Lendoira, the Depor president on the left, and Florentino Perez on the right. Iván Helguera just keeps things moving. Roberto Carlos to Zidane. He's back with the fullback. Beckham popping up in attack. Once again, Roberto Carlos spreading the ball. Figo trying to battle his way in. Once again, no foul, says the referee. Sergio bringing the ball forward. Now it's Duscher taking the return pass from Luque.
Depor are content to play slow and then look for the break and then burst into life, aren't they? They're a good side in terms of possession football.
No offside against Luque, but Helguera was across ever so well to cover. Looked a little bit offside, Luque, when the pass was given, but Helguera were doing very well to get back, considering how quick Luque is.
Yeah, Luque's very, very quick. What Helguera does, though, so well is, well, A, he battles, but he reads the game very well, so he's always alert early.
Iker Casillas comes out to claim on the edge of his 6-yard box. Good, safe pair of hands there from Iker. Noureddine started on the gum.
That'll be the same piece of gum for the rest of the night as well.
Oh, not a very nice thought. Beckham. Neat work there from David Beckham. Picks out Zidane. And that's even better for Roberto Carlos. Andrade, a full stretch. Helguera collecting the ball. Comes to Míchel. Slight misunderstanding, but there's Roberto Carlos making up the distance, as he does so often for this Real Madrid team. Zidane, lovely pass out to Figo, great control. Nearly that pass from Raúl dropping for Figo, as it is Salgado. Figo's kept in there. Zidane, can he work a shooting chance, Zinedine Zidane?
Well, he very nearly had one. He decided to take another step. I think it was Manuel Pablo shepherding pretty well in the end.
Quarter of an hour in the Santiago Bernabéu. Score is still Real Madrid 0, Deportivo La Coruña 0. Another attempt at a back heel from Raúl, almost working out. And now Luque. Just losing his balance there. If there had been a foul, it would have been earlier. I think
yeah,
just
that's it. I mean, there probably was a little bit of a nudge, but it was before he slipped, wasn't it?
Exactly. So the referee once again playing on. Roberto Carlos. Both sides trying to keep possession of the ball as much as possible. Two of the best sides in Spain, but there are not many players. Zidane, who are capable of doing something like that.
Genius. Just brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant.
Well, we're so used to seeing Zinedine Zidane delight us with his ball control, but that is staggering.
I mean, that second little bit of skill, it's not just that he rolls the ball across the turf, it's that he almost drags it across the turf. It never leaves his foot. Fantastic piece of skill.
Molina taking the goal kick, is flicked on. Naybet, Deportivo putting a couple of nice passes together now. Duscher.
Well, it's rare that you'll see a match between two teams who keep the ball and use the ball so well. Both cherish possession as much as these two sides do. I mean, we haven't seen I don't think we've seen a single wild hack. We haven't seen a single ball booted out into touch. We've seen nothing desperate. We've seen both sides trying to really keep it and play.
Deportivo quite content to keep hold of the ball, sending it all the way back to Molina, who is forced, unfortunately for Depor, to send it long, and there is where Madrid are able to regain possession with Paco Pavón. Salgado, Raúl Bravo. There's a few options there, Bravo. Finds Roberto Carlos. And Zidane to Luís Figo. This is good from Real Madrid. That pass from Figo just asking a little bit too much of Roberto Carlos, but once again, great exhibition of passing from both sides so far.
When you saw, Depor went away, Madrid had the ball in a slightly tight situation, but rather than just getting it out of their long, turned, played, got the ball back, and as you say, just slightly overhit Figo's pass over.
What you would say is, looking at that, Madrid's passing just that little bit more incisive, perhaps.
Yes, definitely at the moment.
Helguera penalised there, but once again, some of the referee could have given it either way. Duscher getting it back to Noureddine Naybet. Salgado in quickly. Once again, Depor forced to send the ball back to Molina. The crowd don't like it. Andrade. Was a little bit slack. Ooh, was a handball there from Manuel Pablo? Looked like it probably was. Rodríguez, Santiago.
I think he's judged it to be deliberate, hasn't he?
First booking of the game for Manuel Pablo. Jorge Valdano in the middle. Yeah, I think that's
he's playing a bit of basketball.
Good control. But I mean, he's deliberately cutting out the through ball, and the booking is totally justified. David Beckham to take the free kick. Takes it quickly, Beckham. Good thinking to Zidane. Depor onto him very quickly. He's done well, Zidane, to pick out Roberto Carlos. He's back with Beckham, and that's a little bit careless, but he's won the ball back. Looks up. It's a good ball in there. Raúl. Fantastic work from Raúl. Ronaldo! Fantastic piece of skill, Ronaldo. Went for the finish, and has to be said, good save from Molina as well.
Very good save from Molina. Uncharacteristic of Ronaldo not to score from there. Lovely pass from Beckham. And Raúl's control and touch.
Magnificent.
Absolutely brilliant. Brought it down on the chest, and you thought he was going to shoot, and then he could see that he didn't have a chance. And he had the presence of mind to pull back a really great pass.
That's a great first touch from Ronaldo, and I think he just tries to catch Molina off balance, but doesn't put it far away from the Depor keeper. It's the first thing we've seen of Ronaldo tonight, but what a warning.
And it's a good save as well, because the ball's pretty close to his body and it's very, very low, and those are very difficult to get down to.
So 20 minutes in the Bernabéu. It's still Depor 0, Real Madrid 0. Madrid's turn to defend now. Roberto Carlos. Pavón and Bravo and Roberto Carlos between them. Just snuffing out that threat. Juan Carlos Valerón, played known as the thin man.
Yep. And he is thin.
And he is
very, very skinny.
I was going to say for obvious reasons. Well, lovely little bit of balance from Zidane. Looking for Salgado, great vision as well. Just running away from Míchel Salgado.
And that's one of the things about Zinedine Zidane, as you say. I mean, it's balance. Sometimes he doesn't need to do really clever things just to throw off his mark, but just because he's so graceful and there's something so, well, just neat about his movement.
There's that Ronaldo chance again. He just goes to side foot it, doesn't he? It would have been a goal had he scored. It would have. People would have thought, oh, it's really simple, but it was actually quite special.
Well, the best bit of it from Ronaldo's point of view, that first touch, just to draw the defender, let the ball run across his body, just enough to draw the defender out, and then ease his way into the penalty area, into shooting position.
Well, but leaving the ball dead with that first touch as well.
Exactly. It's the fluidity and the cleanness, if you like, of the touch.
Pressing hard there on the far side of Madrid, but Beckham just losing out. Tristan.
Oh. I don't think Beckham really got too much to complain about. He lost out, he went to win it back, made one challenge which was fine, then carried on through. I mean, this one's not that bad. He wins that one fine, but it's the next one and the next one. That's the work. That final one of Valeron is actually worthy of a card.
Two little goes at him, doesn't he? There's Duscher, the free World Cup nemesis of David Beckham, Aldo Duscher. Just midway through the first half, it's still Madrid 0, Deportivo 0, and it's been quite entertaining. Both sides have got a real commitment to good football. Oh, he nearly drops, and that's a great chance for Valeron. Drops for him very kindly.
Should have scored. I mean,
it took a couple of rebounds to get to him, but having got the ball,
I mean, it's
Luke who hits it hard.
Hits Tristan, sits up for Valeron.
He actually
all the time in the
world. He hits it after it bounces. If he'd hit that on the half volley, that probably would have asked the question of Iker. Doesn't mean to say would have scored, of course.
The question, of course, being can you save it? And obviously, quite often Iker can, but Valeron really should have scored that,
or at least got the shot on target.
Not least a player of his technical ability. He's not the kind of player you expect to hit the ball first time. You expect him to have the presence of mind to bring it down, finish neatly. Very disappointing from Valeron.
I think that's sometimes what happens when you play in the Bernabéu, though, isn't it? The ball drops through, you think, chance.
People snatch it. Yeah, they do tend to snatch at the chances.
Roberto Carlos to Ronaldo. Somebody who tends not to snatch at the ball. Raúl, looking for the through pass to Ronaldo, and you could see the understanding between the pair there. Unfortunately, the ball just cut out. Beckham. Once again, Raúl dropping deep, pulling the Depor defence out of position. Gives the ball to Figo. Once again, takes on Capdevila. This time Capdevila gets a good challenge in. Ball with Aldo Duscher. Depor once again just looking to take a little bit of the pace out of the game. Naybet. Sergio. Valeron. And Manuel Pablo. Roberto Carlos just helping Raúl Bravo out there with Diego Tristan. Gone for a goal kick, says the referee. I don't think Diego Tristan agrees with him. Let's have a look.
Even on that angle, it's
not that easy to see, is it?
Tell,
There's David Beckham looking to spear forward a long ball. That's just a little bit overhit though from Beckham. We see him do that all the time. Quite often as the game progresses, you see Beckham dropping a little bit deeper, looking to take advantage of any tiredness in opposing defences.
Yeah. He tends to deliver better though, from a position slightly further to the right than that. It was a little bit central. When he drops into almost a right back position, that's where he can be really dangerous from distance and long passes. But of course he needs the runner. The runner actually tends to be Ronaldo rather than Raúl on those occasions.
Just a little bit quicker, Ronaldo. and maybe got the body strength that helps him hold players off better. Oh, goodness gracious! Offside against Luque, but my goodness, Madrid were caught a little bit there. Seemed to come out of nowhere, that move from Depor. Giving a little warning, Deportivo, that their passing is also pretty incisive when they want it to be. Balleron in space, and
I think that was Sergio bursting through, and again he's got in a very good position. Depor delivered a couple of really nice balls into the box. Be interested to see that own goal, that offside goal again.
Referee just getting in Zidane's way there. Now it's Madrid attacking David Beckham. He's got Figo on the right. Decides to go and use Zidane. Zinedine Zidane thinks about lining it up. Ronaldo drops to Raúl, goes for the chip with the outside of his foot. Just a little bit overhit there from Raúl González, but you could see what he was trying.
Yeah, I was just about to say exactly that.
Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I tell you what, look at Raúl Bravo.
I think you're right. I think Raúl Bravo may well have played him onside. It's interesting, I think perhaps to some extent Raúl Bravo's not even in the linesman's vision because he's so close to him that the linesman's kind of looking beyond him.
I think that's the thing, the linesman's looking at the middle of the penalty area, but I
think Bravo did play him on.
A little bit lucky there, Real Madrid.
Yep, slight escape. Lovely pass into the box, and obviously a fairly comfortable finish for Luque, although he didn't half bury it.
Of course, I think the whistle had already gone, and it's a lot easier to bury it when you know it doesn't count.
Well, and then if you don't bury it, you just go, no, I knew the whistle had gone.
Cool work by Míchel Salgado. Pavon to Bravo. Roberto Carlos halfway upfield. Again, Deportivo attacking. This is Capdevila. Another good, strong run from Luque.
Pavon this time dealt with him well.
I was going to say equally good defending from Francisco Pavon.
This is the goal again. I think you're right. I think Raúl Bravo might.
It is possible, but it's not actually not. It's a lot closer than I first thought. It's a tough one for the linesman, especially if he is focusing on the middle of the penalty area.
That's exactly where he'll be looking. Is that
Zidane to Míchel Salgado. Here's Raúl, goes for the back heel, trying to catch the Depor defence, and Molina by surprise, and there's Beckham hammering a shot against the Depor defence. Still with Real Madrid though. Roberto Carlos, shooting range perhaps, as it is Raúl. Molina, great save and a great shot.
Great save from Molina, and Raúl really made up for the fact that he put a slightly disappointing back heel on the previous one. Hit that really well on the turn, and it's a good save from Molina.
Still Madrid though, Míchel Salgado into the area. Oof. Fantastic shot, but the referee, I think, had already blown the whistle,
even before Helguera.
Poor old Iván Helguera, who met that ever so sweetly.
He met that very, very well. It's a really, really nice finish. The whistle had already gone. I'm not sure what it's gone for.
Well, to be fair, there's no foul there by anybody.
No. There's the Raúl shot. It's a really nice clean hit.
Does well, Molina, because he doesn't see it till very late. So Depor perhaps had arguments too. Had a case to complain about the Luque goal being disallowed. I think Iván Helguera has a pretty good case with that one as well. Don't really see anything wrong. All I see is two players going in hard.
Helguera will be particularly frustrated because he doesn't get that many goals in a season.
Scores headers, doesn't score many shots. So we're at the half-hour mark, and thanks to perhaps two errors from Rodríguez Santiago, it's 0-0 as opposed to 1-1 between Real Madrid and Deportivo. Roberto Carlos finding space. Zidane. Ronaldo!
Naybet just got a foot in.
Well, you look at Molina there, he was sort of leaning one way, stuck his arm out the other way, sort of posture that makes you think, had Ronaldo got that one on target? Once again, though, great vision from Zidane, a great run from Ronaldo, and
Archer didn't get a deflection. Ronaldo scuffed there, just couldn't
quite keep it down.
Which is why he started hitting himself in the head.
I will do better next time. Tristan holding the ball up well. Valeron gets the return pass. Just took a little bit too long there, Tristan.
Well, it's been a strange game in some ways, in that you're talking about two very, very good football teams who are playing very, very good football. There's not really been very many challenges. It's as if both sides have been happy to say, all right, we can play football as well as you, and each of them happy to kind of challenge each other in a purely creative, technical football sort of sense.
4 fouls from each team. You know, we've had 32 minutes in the first half. That's a very, very low number of fouls.
There's plenty of time for them to start.
And a couple of them, and let's be honest, a couple of them, I mean, probably
not fouls.
Probably not fouls. Good play from Salgado. Has found Figo on side, and there Molina collects the cross. Just intelligent ball from Míchel Salgado. It's another one of those games, isn't it, when you think, okay, when are Madrid just going to find that extra gear? It's all very nice, they were playing some nice football, but you just think there's that extra bite that they probably have that Depor might not have. Here's Roberto Carlos. So again, now Naybet just gets in this time.
Well, I think Madrid just need to carry on the way they are, and they will score. Although I sort of suspect that Depor might as well.
Beckham leaving it for Helguera. Just takes a deflection, but still finds Zinedine Zidane. Once again, he's on song, isn't he? Ball with Luís Figo. Space for Salgado. Once again, Beckham just dropping into that deep role where he's able to spread out the long passes. And of course, Roberto Carlos will always leave that wing open for him. Helguera showing neat skill, sets up Roberto Carlos, and that did not miss by much. Absolutely whacked that one across the face of goal, Roberto Carlos.
Yeah, nice skills from Helguera. We're not used to seeing him doing step-overs on the edge of the box.
I think he's a little bit annoyed. In fact, I must have got a touch. He's gone out for a corner. I think Helguera's a little bit annoyed he had his goal disallowed.
I think he's very annoyed he had his goal disallowed.
Beckham with the corner. Floated in there. Molina gets a hand on it. Could have done a bit better, Roberto Carlos. Ronaldo, danger for Deportivo. Well, that's once again lovely little back heel actually from Helguera, and Molina gets a hand on that one, a good hand on it. David Beckham to take another corner. Taking it quickly, here he is. Left-footed cross. It's dropping nicely. Madrid just turning the pressure on. Scrambled clear. Salgado now. Busy little running style of his. Got Figo. Looks up Figo. Just couldn't pick out Míchel Salgado in the penalty area. Here he is again though. Raúl. A little bit of a high foot from Raúl. He's able to smile about it. Just apologises to Naybet, who probably got just as much from his own teammate there.
Very nearly got Raúl's foot in his face, didn't it? There's that goal again, which I don't think should have been chalked off. It's a difficult one, but I'm equally sure that the Helguera one shouldn't have been chalked off either.
Probably been better for the spectator had they both been given. I'd rather be watching a 1-1 rather than a 0-0. Saying that, we've seen plenty of nice football so far, haven't we? Certainly the football on display from both sides deserves more than 0-0. Duscher. Figo just blocking Capdevila. We're 8.5 minutes towards the break. As we're saying, it's Real Madrid 0, Deportivo La Coruña 0 in a game between second and third in the Primera Liga. Beckham once again drops deep, but that one's wasted. It's only gone as far as Manuel Pablo. Scaloni. Manuel Pablo again. Duscher, will you think about the shot? The ball's gone into the area. Got it well though, Raúl Bravo. Finds Figo with the clearance. Neat little header from Zidane. And Beckham helping things on. Zidane's carried on his run. Just didn't bounce right for him there, and Naybet able to get the challenge in.
Well, it's one of very, very few fouls, isn't it?
Exactly, and poor old Javier Portillo rolling his sleeves up almost in frustration. Just being a little bit over fussy here, I think, the referee. In fact, it wasn't even a foul. Decided to throw in. He did seem to have given it, didn't he? That did look to be offside as Sergio just slipped the ball forward to Valerón.
Well, his side are playing some nice football. I wonder if he maybe wants a little bit more intensity, wants them to close off spaces a little bit, because both sides have left each other a lot of space to use the ball in midfield, and I wonder if Irueta is thinking, well, at the Bernabéu you just can't afford to do that.
Well, the Bernabéu, or even in your own ground against these Real Madrid players. Here's Ronaldo through to Raúl. Naybet just got his body in the way.
Yeah, just eased Raúl across, didn't he?
But a good pass there from Ronaldo. Wonder if that had been the other way around.
Well, Ronaldo has the body strength to hold people off, doesn't he?
A lovely pass from Ronaldo, showing that he's more to him than just finishing.
Well, I think when you watch Ronaldo in training, he can do everything. And I think he's one of these guys who he plays up front and he scores goals, and sometimes that disguises the fact that he can do everything, and then when he gets it, he's a great footballer as well. He's not just a goal scorer. I think Ronaldo's the kind of guy that if you force him to play at centre-back for a year, probably turn out to be a great centre-back as well. And he wouldn't enjoy it very much.
No, I'm sure. Just lost sight of the ball there from the through pass from Raúl. Oh, goodness gracious. Do you see that control there from Zidane?
He is on graceful top form today.
Just killed it dead, gave it to Raúl, and here come Real Madrid with Roberto Carlos. Zinedine Zidane. Just caught from behind by Lionel Scaloni, who can't believe it. Let's have a look.
Impressed, is he? Well, actually, there's a little clip, I think, on Zidane's ankle from Scaloni. The upper body contact doesn't look very much at all, but I think Scaloni may just have hooked Zidane's ankle with his right foot.
So the crowd still waiting to see David Beckham's first goal from a free kick in La Liga in the Bernabéu. But just 5 minutes to go in the first half. Can Beckham give the lead to Real Madrid? The crowd seem to think so. Molina working on the wall. Here comes Beckham. Well, he got it on target, but Molina got his angles right, straight into the chest of the Deportivo keeper. Beckham maybe didn't quite hit that hard enough either.
No, and he didn't get enough lift on it. And normally Beckham's free kicks get a lot more lift on that. They tend to go in much higher than that.
Looking to break their Deportivo, but Molina's kick to Scaloni just a little bit too far. Oof.
A minute there.
Throw-in, just sort of thing as a goalkeeper. You don't like to see the ball coming towards you, being chased down by an opposing striker. There's the Beckham free kick again. Gets it over the wall, actually. But it just easy for Molina.
It's a little too central as well, isn't it? And Molina's able to claim that fairly comfortably.
Sergio looking to get things moving in his busy style for Depor, but manages to bisect his two teammates there, Luque and Tristan. Once again, Beckham. He does it almost by clockwork, those long passes. Zinedine Zidane now. Looking to cut inside. Zidane, Roberto Carlos, Andrade. A little more haste in that clearance from Depor. And again, Beckham. Andrade anticipating Raúl. And Helguera catches Valeron, picks him up. Been a very sporting game.
Yeah, it has.
Even though when there have been fouls, there's been quick apologies. They've picked each other up because those two know each other well from their time together in the Spain squad. Wasted though by Deportivo. I'm sure Mr. Irureta won't be very happy about that. And once again, David Beckham finds Ronaldo, uses his body strength there, Ronaldo, and just by being strong earns the free kick.
Well, he was up against the skinny one, so he was always going to win that, Ronaldo.
You would have made him favourite, wouldn't you? Zidane, 3 players around him, but they've still worked space with Beckham. Figo trying to work his way through. Goes down among a crowd of players. Nothing doing, says the referee. Now it's Depor's turn to break, and Beckham charging back. That ball collected by Iker Casillas. He keeps things moving. All of a sudden we've found an extra gear in this game. Zinedine Zidane again with space. This is where Madrid are dangerous. It's attacking into the penalty area, Zidane, and that's just over the bar. Roberto Carlos made the distance.
Zidane, wasn't it? Lovely skill. 3-4 step overs just to keep the defender on the back foot, and then roll into the path of Roberto Carlos, who might have done a little better.
Figo, a great skill as well from Luís Figo. 1, 2.
Yeah, I think Figo did really well on the first couple, but I do think sometimes has a tendency, Figo, to drift inside when he might be better off staying a little bit wider and putting the ball across.
Just run out of space a little bit, allow the Depor defence to close him down. It's Pavón to Beckham. Iván Helguera. Just looking for someone to drop short for him, but instead he's bringing the ball forward himself. Finds Zidane, little back heel from Zidane. Roberto Carlos. Figo again. That was a venomous shot. Didn't look at first as if it was going to cause any problems, but it seemed to pick up speed off the ground.
Yeah, and it came through a couple of players as well.
Molina doing well to get down to his left to deny Luís Figo. In the last minute of normal time, it's still 0-0, but both sides making chance after chance. And here's another one. Zinedine Zidane across the area. Ronaldo. 1-0 to Madrid at exactly the right moment.
Wow. I mean, Ronaldo scores, and he finished it really nicely, but that's a nice gesture, and it's a correct gesture as well, to go steaming over to Zidane, give him a hug, because that was a wonderful piece of skill from Zidane. I think when we get the chance to see it again, we'll see it's a long, long ball. It's dropping from very high. Zidane, the first touch is brilliant, but the ball sits slightly behind him. I think he may even play it back in front of himself with his ankle, and then, of course, delivers a perfect pass. So this first touch is superb, but watch the next one. That's with his ankle.
Flicks it down, doesn't he? Leaves Manuel Pablo standing, and Ronaldo, he's usually lethal from 4 yards out.
But look, I mean, that's a great touch. But then
that one's brilliant,
isn't
it? Staggering work from Zinedine Zidane. He's certainly been on song today, and number 13, it's unlucky for some. 13 goals for Ronaldo, and it's unlucky for Depor tonight.
Tony is, and I was just about to say before that goal, look, Madrid just starting to get on top.
They were indeed, and that's a great time to score the first goal of the game, as Rodríguez Santiago gives the half-time whistle after 45 minutes. The score in the Bernabéu is Real Madrid 1, Deportivo La Coruña 0. Thanks to Ronaldo. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back soon. Hello and welcome back to the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium as we're just getting ready for the start of the second half of this Week 16 game between Real Madrid and Deportivo La Coruña. Deportivo on the pitch, 1 goal down thanks to Ronaldo, who put Madrid ahead on the stroke of half-time. Easy goal for Ronaldo. Most of the credit has to go to Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, absolutely perfect assist from Zidane. It's a long ball which he brought down with one absolutely astonishingly good touch. Just almost caught the ball on his foot. Then it bounced fractionally behind him, and yet he managed to produce this kind of flick. He almost knocked it in front of himself with his ankle, and then rolled the ball right into Ronaldo's pass. Great finish. And Ronaldo thanked him for it by running over and jumping on top of him.
I'd expect no less, I'm sure. Madrid, with this, if things stay as they are, they will go back to the top of the table. Deportivo are third, but the Madrid would open up a 6-point gap over them. It looks like it's going to be a substitution for Real Madrid. It's Luís Figo who's going off, and he's been replaced by Óscar Miñambres.
Miñambres can play both at right back and on the right wing. Although it's a slight surprise in so much as other options to play on the right wing: Antonio Núñez, Juan Fran, but Miñambres has got the nod.
Figo must have picked up a slight knock in the first half. Yeah, it is Miñambres, a product of the Real Madrid youth system. He has perhaps suffered in the most of his appearances have been at right back.
Yeah.
This will give him a chance to show what he's capable of in attack. Referee Rodríguez Santiago looks at his watch, and away we go with the second half. Some good football played by both sides in the first half, but Madrid, you look at the shot count, they actually had 10 chances to Depor's 2. So the most incisive football was definitely played by the home side, and there is Miñambres getting a good early touch of the ball.
Yeah, Deport just lacked a little bit of bite, didn't they? And Madrid have played really nice football, but they've eased their way into the game. They were struggling maybe for the first 10-15 minutes. Deport were slightly the better side, but the Madrid just eased their way in, played really nice football, created a lot of good chances, and they deserve to be one up.
They just looked that little bit more incisive in the last third of the pitch, thanks mainly to the quality of people like that man there, Zinedine Zidane. Once again, giving Manuel Pablo a torrid evening, the Deportivo right back. So again, Miñambres, that's a good ball. Raúl just couldn't quite control that, and Andrade had to scythe it clear, but good early touch there for Miñambres.
Ronaldo seems to be trying to steal Naybet's captain armband.
Trying to help it retie it. So Naybet and Raúl just colliding, I think, as he made the challenge. Once again, Miñambres just couldn't control it that time, though. Just ran away from him.
Oh yeah, Raúl just trod on his heel, didn't he?
Accidentally, and then Raúl twisted his own ankle, but they're both, well, he's watching the ball, Raúl, it's just unfortunate. And offside. Given against Albert Luque. We've seen a lot of Luque, we haven't really seen enough of the Depor number 9, Diego Tristan.
No, we haven't, and I think Depor will look for this pass quite a lot this half, because Luque definitely has the pace to get in behind Madrid and cause them trouble, particularly if the Madrid defence is that far up as it was there. It only takes a fairly simple pass, actually, just drop it in the space behind, and Luque should get there first most times.
He has got the pace. He is up against Míchel Salgado, of course, who is one of the most tenacious fullbacks you could expect to come across. David Beckham. Two Madrid players out on the left, and Roberto Carlos, cool as you like, controlling that one. No handball, says the referee. Chance for Depor to break. There's Scaloni putting the early ball in, but easy for Iker Casillas. You know, we say Depor played nice football. Iker hasn't really been called on to do any more than put the odd cross down.
Well, that's it. I mean, what they've done is they've moved the ball around, they've stroked it about, but they haven't really had that penetration, that incisiveness. They haven't created really good chances. I mean, certainly not since the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, Roberto Carlos trying something a little bit special, but the ball just running away from him a little bit.
You know, Depor, I think in terms of chances, they had that terrible miss from Valeron, which he put over the bar, and of course the goal that was chalked off for Luka, which probably shouldn't have been. Since then, Madrid are the side that have had all the chances.
And they also had a goal disallowed, which is probably a little bit harsh. The Iván Helguera thunderbolt. Roberto Carlos is penalised there for knocking Valeron off the ball. As there is Pedro Munitis, a former Madrid player, warming up. Depor substitute. Valeron twisting and turning, and the referee giving the free kick just outside of the area. I'm sure Valeron would have liked him to point it to the penalty spot, but I think Rodríguez Santiago just about got that one right. When he does play Valeron, he's very hard to get off the ball because he's got such great ball control close in. But sometimes you just wonder if he should, with the ability he has, shouldn't he do a bit more? Yeah,
I think sometimes. I mean, that said, he was the fulcrum of the Deportivo side that won the cup. But you're right, there are times you just think he should have achieved a little bit more in his career. Particularly, it must be said, actually, with the Spanish national team.
He's always been questioned, really. As Luque driving that one against the wall. Corner for Deportivo. Iván Helguera out quickly to block it. There's Walter Pandiani, big Uruguayan striker, also doing a few warm-up exercises. Pose different questions to Madrid defence, Pandiani. He's very big, he's direct, he's good in the air. As it is, they've got to defend this one, and there was Beckham on the near post to clear the ball. Good work from Raúl. Here comes Ronaldo. Scaloni got back, did well, but Ronaldo still going strong.
It's amazing that he's still being on the ball.
And Beckham collecting the ball. Zidane, Raúl looking for Ronaldo. Oh, that was just inches away there from the Brazilian. He's kept it in though, but he couldn't get past Andrade. No foul, says the referee. Throw-in for Real Madrid. And then penalises Real Madrid for foul throw. Just limping slightly, Ronaldo there.
I wonder if it's just from that exertion of chasing the ball into the corner. It's a good pass.
Bit of space here for Depor, bit of space for Capdevila, Deportivo left back. Salgado and Miñambres getting back well to help his full-back out, and that's not a bad pass to Raúl. Ronaldo, Manuel Pablo gets across well. Was that a good contribution so far from Miñambres? He's put in 2 or 3 good passes. So it's always good to see another product of the Madrid youth policy performing well. And he's got a Spain under-21 international, Óscar Miñambres. There's Zidane to Raúl, very active at the start of this second half, the Madrid captain. Just provoking the foul from Sergio.
Speaking of Real Madrid youth products,
Víctor
Sánchez won the league with Real Madrid under Fabio Capello. After that, didn't quite get the chances he wanted. Went to Racing for a season. He's been now at Depor for 4 years. Good player, right on the right.
He's a consistent performer for Depor, isn't he? Free kick for Deportivo, who are trailing 1-0 here in the Santiago Bernabéu, thanks to that Ronaldo goal on 44 minutes, right on the stroke of half-time. Now Beckham working very deep again. Certainly not neglecting his defensive duties, the England captain. Had a very good season since joining Real Madrid in the summer. People thought he might struggle to adapt, but he's really shown that he's willing to get down, he's working hard, he's making things move in central midfield. And what he does, he has that ability, doesn't he, just to drop deep, pick up the ball and hit it long.
Like that, for
example.
Yeah, but the surprising thing about Beckham this year has been how quickly he's adapted.
Scoring, the first goal of the season after 2 minutes probably helped.
Yeah.
Here's Luque looking to attack Salgado, who's forced into conceding a corner. It's curled in there, Roberto Carlos producing another phenomenal jump, only succeeds in hitting it back. It's curled in again. Once again, Raúl Bravo up this time. Zinedine Zidane had a fantastic first half. Picks out Ronaldo. Here is Ronaldo. But Andrade this time was able to get the challenge in, and Ronaldo's on the floor. Deportivo very sportingly kicking the ball out when they had a good attack mounted.
Yeah, they did have a good attack on. I'm not sure if Ronaldo got a knock or if he pulled something.
So every time Ronaldo sort of clutches his knee, there's always a
shudder, isn't there?
I think his knee might just collide with Andrade there. It's hard to see anything particularly.
Turn, isn't it? Oh, there you go. You got Andrade swung and came through the bottom of Ronaldo's leg, which may just have twisted his knee from the jolt.
He's limping off Ronaldo, and there's Santiago Solari warming up. There's Dr. Juan Carlos Hernandez having a little word with Ronaldo, just seeing if he's fit to carry on. Anyhow, the game's able to get back underway. We're 10 minutes in the second half. Real Madrid leading Deportivo 1-0 thanks to that Ronaldo goal, and there's Zidane returning possession to Deportivo. He doesn't look very happy, Ronaldo, there, does he?
No, he looks very uncomfortable.
Although he's surrounded by Red Cross girls. Duscher. Deportivo trying to get the ball into where it counts. Bravo. And there's David Beckham once again just stepping on the ball, opening it out to Roberto Carlos. Zinedine Zidane. Game still played at that quite sedate pace so far as Ronaldo comes back onto the pitch with just those little explosive moments on both sides.
Yeah, it's a comfortable place for both teams, isn't it?
But what it is doing is allowing them both to show their ball skills, and Pavón just hurried back there to Iker Casillas. Bravo. Manuel Pablo gets up well. Here comes Deportivo. Sergio looking to make something happen. Little ball through the middle. To Manuel Pablo again, who's got a bit of space ahead of him. Good defending though. Miñambres once again just forcing Depor back. And the ball across the Madrid penalty area. 3 defenders in there, and Casillas and Diego Tristan not able to get a touch.
Yeah, it was a dangerous ball, wasn't it? Delivered right into that area that forwards normally love to attack. Diego Tristan, his mentality isn't really of a striker who goes in with his head. He's he's a talent player more than anything else, a player of touch and class rather than a player of kind of...
He's not actually managed a shot so far. And looking at the bench, it's Victor who's going to be coming on as a substitute for Deportivo. Be interesting to see who he takes off. What if he might take like Manuel Pablo off and drop Scaloni back? He struggled, Manuel Pablo, to deal with Zidane tonight.
Yeah, and then Scaloni would give them the overlapping ability from right back. And as I said earlier on...
He's also, Manuel Pablo, the only player who's been booked so far.
Yeah.
Which would make perhaps sense. We'll see. Or will be revealed. I would suspect next time the ball goes out for a throw-in. Or the referee gives a free kick. Iván Helguera. It's fouled there. David Beckham, as usual, standing over the ball. I'm sure Ireta will probably wait while his team have some defending to do. Taking it quickly, Beckham. Oof.
Oh dear. Well, uncharacteristically poor control from Zidane on the first touch, and then he lifted his leg, as only Zidane can do because of such elasticity, to try and bring the ball down. What he hadn't realised is that Sergio had put his face in there, and that's got to hurt. Oh!
Well, last time I saw that, it was at the cinema, and I think the film was called
Jackie Chan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Charlie Chan, yeah. Jackie Chan.
Charlie Chan. Well, Zidane's smiling about it, and I think Sergio knows that he can mean it, but that will have hurt.
And indeed, it is Manuel Pablo, the player who has been substituted.
Yeah, and as you say, it makes sense. I mean, Scaloni has replaced Manuel Pablo through a lot of his injury problems recently, and he can push on beyond Victor, and then Victor will just give him that little thrust.
He's a more attacking player, Victor. Is he more direct? Scaloni is more defensively minded, so it's a pretty... It is an attacking change by Javier Ireta, the Deportivo coach. I think Victor will be welcoming another opportunity to play in what used to be his home crowd. Ball all the way across to Roberto Carlos. Ronaldo just gets there first, doesn't he? He doesn't think. Sometimes you just don't think he's going to get there, and then he does. Just has that extra yard of pace that surprises. I'm sure it surprises defenders as well.
Still doesn't look like he's moving all that well, though.
Oof, that was a little bit too intricate there. The ball given away to Deportivo, and it's Luque with a chance to run.
Well, I tell you, if Tristan had just been able to step beyond Raúl Bravo there, not only was he through, but I think he had Victor on the right-hand side. That's what Luque gives. He gives that injection of pace.
As it was, Helguera was able to get in there at the right time, and there the ball deflected for a Deportivo corner.
I think Tristan's complaining about the pass he got from Luque. I'm not really sure why.
Victor take the corner. Floated in with there, Helguera up well. Beckham trying to play that out of defence. It's given away. There he is, making up for his error. And what a pass to Zidane, who just couldn't quite control that. We'll let him off this time.
Yeah, we've seen 2 or 3 pieces of absolutely superb control. We'll let him off that. Although I'm not so sure that Sergio will let him off for that karate kick in the face.
Play on, says the referee. We've got just under half an hour to go. Real Madrid winning 1-0 at home to Deportivo. The goal scored just before the break on the stroke of half-time by Ronaldo. Miñambres. Good control from Raúl. Couldn't, just hassled out of things. Deportivo scurrying around, trying to clear the ball out of defence. Madrid pressuring high upfield. There was 4 players there. And in the end, David Beckham gets across to make the challenge.
I think that's when Tristan was having a go at Luque for the pass. And Luque was not too impressed with what Tristan did with it either.
Well, that's one of the last things Diego Tristan has done, because he's been replaced by Walter Pandiani.
And to be honest, it's about the only thing Tristan's done. He's been very, very disappointing. Pandiani will be hoping to make more of an impact.
He's the sort of player. Here he is, Walter Pandiani, and well, that's what you're going to say is quite an effective substitution. He's been on the pitch about 30 seconds, Walter Pandiani. He's levelled the scores.
Well, that's incredible, isn't it?
But Tristan is probably kicking himself down the tunnel.
Probably is. And Iker Casillas cannot believe it. I can't believe it, to be honest. I mean, and Pandiani certainly can't believe it. He's been on the pitch, as you say, all of 20 seconds. Ball slipped right through the middle for him. It's a neat finish.
I think the thing is, he's just come on off the bench. If Tristan had been there, he'd have had somebody marking him straight away, and there's some pretty unhappy faces there amongst the Madrid players. The ball's through the middle. Pandiani, 2 steps. It's a very good finish, because Casillas had come a long way out to narrow the angle.
It's also a very, very good pass from Sergio through the gap. Good finish.
Just puts it where the keeper can't get to it. I think what the possible problem might have been is, had Tristan been there, he'd have been in the position. And Pandiani had just come on. He's running into the position. No defender had really picked him up since he came onto the pitch.
And between him, the Madrid defence presumably hadn't yet decided, right, OK, let's see where he moves, we'll pick him up, because obviously
Pandiani is slightly, whereas maybe Bravo would have been the one would have been to pick up Tristan because he's quicker. Maybe you'd want Pavon to do a marking job on Pandiani because Pandiani does.
Well, it was Pavon's shoulder that Pandiani came off as he went for that. Fantastic pass from Sergio.
Certainly was, just right through the defence. So now Deportivo all of a sudden in the ascendancy. I think so, and the referee tells him to get up. He could even have thought about showing him a yellow card for the dive. Zidane collides into Scaloni. Maybe a little bit fortunate Scaloni not to concede a free kick there. And all of a sudden, Depor in the ascendancy. Is Victor looking up? Important header there.
It was, because Pandiani was in behind.
Víctor Sánchez, who's a former Real Madrid youth team player and played a couple of seasons with the first team with Beckham. Just dwelling on that a little bit. So Madrid, all of a sudden, they've got to pick themselves up and get back into this game, because it is 1-1 following Walter Pandiani's second goal. No more after just coming onto the pitch.
Yeah, seconds he'd been on the pitch, and this is what he did. His first touch.
Play they know as the rifle. Nice corner from Beckham, caused all sorts of confusion in the Depor penalty area, and it's finally scrambled free. 25 minutes left for Real Madrid.
It's quite unusual in a way, in that goal, the score has changed, but the complexion of the game actually hasn't yet. Both sides are still playing the way they've been playing all game, which is to say, nice football, keep the ball smooth, keep it moving.
It's a cracking pass from Sergio, and it's a good finish from Pandiani. He's a player, we think of him as being strong in the air, but he slipped that one home really very, very well indeed.
The one thing that may change, I mean it hasn't just yet, but that may change is that Depor may be a little bit more direct with, not just with Pandiani, but with Pandiani and Victor. Just gives them a little bit more, if you like, thrust, a little bit more aggression.
It gives you that temptation as well, just to send in a few more longer passes, which would certainly break up the game, because it's not been like that. Ooh, Ronaldo, here's Ronaldo through. Ronaldo hit that hard at Molina. It is so hard, Molina couldn't hold on to it, but he got down for the rebound.
Great pass, although I think it was Andrade or Ronaldo made a mess. No, it was Naybet made a mess in the first pass.
Ronaldo's physical presence putting him off there, and Andrade did very well getting across, just hurrying Ronaldo in the shot. There's not many central defenders can do that.
No, but Ronaldo's still got good, clean contact. It's one of the things about Ronaldo, actually, even when he misses chances, he tends to miss them because they've been saved.
Yeah, he tends to get the ball on target.
Yeah, he hits the ball very flat. It's rare that he puts much better. He hits the ball very flat and very cleanly. And Pandiani didn't waste much time scoring, and didn't waste very much time getting a card either.
Second player into the referee's book, Walter Pandiani. First one being Manuel Pablo, who's already been substituted.
Oops, and he's dropped his piece of paper.
He's carrying on talking, Pandiani. He'd probably be quite well advised just to keep his thoughts to himself. Not quite sure what the referee's...
I think the referee's pointing at him. May even be pointing at him saying, take your shirt in. Oh, he certainly seemed to be pointing at his shirt and his waistband, didn't he? Very strange.
I'd like to think he hadn't been booked for not having his shirt tucked.
I would hope not, I really would.
But if that is it, it's a very half-hearted attempt.
Maybe the referee will now get out half a yellow card for him. Running half time.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, in a physical game, to see people... I mean, if that is why, to see somebody get a booking for that, it's ludicrous.
That said, it wouldn't be the first time I saw a ludicrous decision.
23 minutes gone in the second half. It's Real Madrid 1, Deportivo La Coruña 1, with Walter Pandiani cancelling out Ronaldo's strike just a few minutes ago. Only just come on, and Pandiani is already he's already given the statisticians a couple of pieces of work. He scored the goal and he's been booked on 67 minutes. It's Capdevila looking to cross the ball, just hanging in the air. And that's gone out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and Pandiani applauds it because it's not a bad delivery, that. Just a little bit more bend to keep it in the area that little bit longer. And I tell you, Pandiani had drifted away. I think it was Pavon, off Pavon's shoulder. He found himself a little bit of space on that far post.
There's Deportivo club captain Fran Gonzalez warming up on the touchline. He would come on probably on the left-hand side of midfield. Spent his entire career with Deportivo, Fran. Beckham. Space for him to work across into the area. It's a little bit of a nothing ball though, but Zidane is chasing it down. It's fall to Roberto Carlos. It's collided there, Roberto Carlos. The referee decides to play on, and well, Roberto Carlos isn't really... I think he's knocked the wind out of Scaloni. It says collided. Let's have a look at that one again. It just goes across him diagonally. Do you think there's any chance of a penalty there?
I don't think so. I was wondering more actually about the first challenge, but on the replay I think the first challenge is a clean one as well. I think it's really just Roberto Carlos' momentum and the fact that Scaloni's coming across. I don't think there's a foul. I mean, you know, this is it's a sign of how difficult it is being a referee. And when we see a replay and you say, well, we don't think there's a foul there, it is tough. I wouldn't do it.
Not for all the tea in China.
That's a lot of tea.
That's a lot to say, yeah. Helguera getting himself into trouble there and conceding the free kick. Pavon had cleared the original challenge, referee trying to give the advantage. Dangerous free kick for Deportivo. Just caught loitering a little bit there, the Madrid defence. Let's have a look at Helguera. He's pressured by Victor, and yeah, I think that's a foul.
As you say, the referee, Rodríguez Santiago, tried to allow Pandiani the chance to get in, to allow the advantage, and then pulled it back when Pandiani was cut off. There's a few candidates.
There's a bit of a Deportivo conference around the ball there.
Well, I mean, Luque can hit the ball really nicely. Capdevila hits the ball very nicely. And Victor there as
can
well.
hit it.
Seen him take free kicks. And also Duscher can hit the ball.
It's probably about, what, 25 yards out. There's Victor.
I think it's Duscher standing in front. But it does look like, yeah, it's Duscher standing in front. It does look like it's going to be Victor who takes it, doesn't it?
We're trying to get the wall back. The wall was a little bit close there, and Victor just curling it wide of the goal.
It wasn't very far wide, though. I mean, Casillas was a long, long way to the other side, so had it been inside the post, I don't think he'd have reached it.
It's not that far wide at all, is it? Just curling away, though.
Yeah.
I think what you do as a goalkeeper, though, in that position, you put your wall over the post. Basically, if it goes over the wall at any speed, there's nothing you can do about it. Chalk one up to the striker. As it is, Victor just curled that a little bit too much. Real Madrid live again. It's 27 minutes gone. It's 1-1. Looking to open up.
Oh, lovely.
To go top of the table, Real Madrid against Deportivo La Coruña for a third. Great control again by Zidane.
His touch tonight has been absolutely sensational.
And his battling abilities. Won that one for Beckham. Back with Zidane. Zinedine Zidane. Ronaldo just looking for that extra pass there, Madrid. But they're still keeping the pressure on, showing they can work as well as produce those passes. And the referee...
Totally off the ball, wasn't it?
Penalising.
I think it was accidental, but it was totally off the ball.
It was Aldo Duscher.
I think it was Helguera who caught it.
Think about Helguera, he looks permanently exhausted and yet he keeps on going.
Yeah. I just think it's his natural style, if you like. He does have a kind of that sort of bandy-legged swagger, and his shoulders are always slightly hunched forward.
Let's have a look at this again.
It's entirely off the ball. I don't think there's any intention.
No, he seems to pull up, just seems to slip a tiny bit actually and catch Duscher. And there we just had a glimpse of Javier Portillo warming up on the Real Madrid bench. I wonder if that is a question that maybe Ronaldo isn't as fit as he could be.
Yeah, I mean, he did seem to be struggling even a good 5 or 10 minutes after he'd been off the pitch receiving treatment, didn't he?
There's Raúl looking for Ronaldo, trying to break the offside trap. Ronaldo! He did, but he just had to go back that little bit too far. He's still pressing, though.
To be honest, Raúl probably should have played Ronaldo in sooner. I think he waited a little long.
I wonder if Ronaldo was just a little bit offside earlier on. And there Casillas, alert, out of his area quickly. The ball is back with Luque. Dwelt on it too long, and Miñambres nipped in ahead of him. Starting the break for Madrid. Once again looking for the counters. Zidane to Roberto Carlos. Ronaldo. Zinedine Zidane, Molina! Brilliant move there from Real Madrid. Just slick passing, tore open the Deportivo defence, and there, José Molina, 7 saves tonight.
Well, and time again it's Zidane as well. Madrid have actually created very, very little on the right, but Zidane has been magnificent tonight.
Tries a little dummy there on Molina. Zidane just steps over with his right foot and hits it with his left. He's had a great game tonight.
And once again, Ronaldo, the interchange between the two of them has been really.
And once again, Ronaldo showing that he can do those passes.
Yeah, well, he can provide as well as score.
Valerón earning a free kick for his side. Quarter of an hour to go. Walter Pandiani and Luque taking up their positions in the Madrid penalty area. The ball curled in. Well, Luque got up, but he couldn't get any header on the ball.
No, it was a decent leap, as you say. There was just not enough power on the header.
Still thinking about Casillas. I can't think of any. There was nothing he could do with the goal, but I can't think of any saves he's actually had to make.
It's rare, isn't it? It's rare that Casillas goes through a whole game without making at least one excellent save.
I mean, he's looked very secure. Here's Raúl. He's got Miñambres outside him. Oof, and that nearly surprised Molina, who was forced into conceding the corner. The thing is, he's just not been forced into them. It just, we're saying Depor playing well, but they've not actually created that many chances.
No, what they've done is they've moved the ball around well, but without having that extra punch.
Beckham with the corner. Just a little bit too easy for the defence there on the near post.
And then the product of that is the one chance they have created was such a good chance that
Iker
had no hope of saving it.
Intelligent play from Beckham, waits for Míchel Salgado on the overlap, but Salgado just ran out of pitch there and sends his cross into the side netting.
Yeah, Salgado brought the ball under control and then almost sort of took a step back and just let it run away from him a little bit, which meant that he was hurried, and the cross was a very poor one by Salgado's normally very high standards.
Serious look from Iker Casillas. He always tends to look incredibly serious after he's conceded a goal, Casillas.
Oh, he doesn't enjoy it, does he?
Which he shouldn't do, but I've never seen a goalkeeper affect more.
No. In terms of sort of
how could that happen?
Yeah, exactly. In terms of inner unhappiness, I mean, you get goalkeepers who shout at their defence, you get goalkeepers who curse and scream and shout.
But you see, Iker, he has a little tut, he shakes his head.
Exactly. He sort of stands there as if to say,
how could that happen?
I don't
how could he beat?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, there are not many people who do beat Iker Casillas. was getting better and better. A little bit careless there from Madrid, though. They're allowing Depor to break, and that's not a long way ahead of Luque.
No, the idea was right. Again, it's Sergio. He's the one who sees those angles best. Luque has the pace that it's worth Sergio bordering on the difficult to keep it well away from defence, because Luque normally has the pace to get there. And we saw again Pedro Munitis on the bench.
Indeed. Just over 12 minutes for Real Madrid or Depor to find the winner in this game. Here's Zidane. Roberto Carlos making good ground on the overlap, but not even Roberto Carlos can get onto that pass from Zidane, just running away from the Madrid fullback. And Carlos Queiroz just starting to look a little bit... Well, he hasn't looked happy all game, really.
No, but the
few
difference
dark
now is
shadows under those eyes there.
Starting to look more nervous, isn't it?
I wonder if he'll be thinking about making another substitution. He has got Portillo on the bench, the young striker from the Madrid youth policy. Raúl lofting it over the top, offside against Ronaldo.
Yeah, if he was to call on Portillo, I guess the most likely candidate would be Raúl rather than Ronaldo, because Ronaldo looks dangerous, except that we don't know how fit Ronaldo is, because he didn't seem to be moving that well. The other option
is to take a risk and maybe take off Helguera or Beck.
Yep.
Or even one of the central defenders, but the way Depor are playing, I think that you'd want to keep your defence intact.
The other person you can call upon who tends to contribute when he comes on is Santiago Solari.
Casillas, well, we said he hadn't been called on.
He has now.
There he was, Valerón, the thin man, weaves away, gets the shot in. Here's David Beckham to Zidane. Just dwelt on that, allowing Vic to get the challenge in, and it rolls back to Molina. Whatever the final score is, Zidane has had a great night tonight.
It's just time and time again he goes into the pitch, and just the elegance, and it's just a joy to watch him play.
He's had 2 or 3 little pirouettes. He's set up the goal, and he's been constant threat for Depor.
It's amazing actually that Depor haven't done more to try and pick him up, but they've allowed him to waltz around the pitch, and he really does waltz around the pitch, particularly with the ball, and pick the ball up and have the time and the space to do what he does best.
There's Raúl working very, very deep. Finds Zidane. Roberto Carlos bursting through. Can he get into the area? Oof. Well, no lack of commitment there from Roberto Carlos, as Andrade just got ahead of him, and we go into the last 10 minutes of normal time. Still 1-1 in the Bernabéu. Goals from Ronaldo and Walter Pandiani. Salgado now. A little bit of space for Miñambres. Looks up. Not a bad cross, and Andrade got up well. Depor need to clear this one. Once again, Miñambres getting a good foot in. Nice turn, nice turn. Zidane. He's got a little bit too much on that one. Not quite a lot too much. And here is Pedro Munitis for Depor.
Well, Madrid will be hoping for something rather different than the last time they faced Pedro Munitis. He only actually officially left Madrid this summer to go to Deportivo. But last year he was on loan at Racing Santander, scored the only goal when Madrid were beaten 1-0 in Santander.
Looks like Luque is the player to go off.
I think he must be.
Looking at it was asking for the change.
Gestured, wasn't it?
He's asking for the change, so as Depor prepared to take this change, it is indeed Luque who goes off. And there it is, Pedro Munitis. Pedro Munitis, who will of course be looking for the chance to shine in front of who were his own fans until not long ago.
Yeah, and Real Madrid's fans will be hoping that he doesn't do what he did last year when he was playing on loan for Racing Santander and scored the only goal in the game.
So there is really Munitis. Well. And Madrid, well, they'll have to be careful of him, but they know what they're up against.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But what Depor will be looking for, what their coach Javier Portillo will be for Munitis to hold that ball up, take on the defence, try and win some free kicks. Here are Depor. Early touch for Munitis. Capdevila. He's taking on Salgado. And that's gone. Corner for Depor. Time ticking away here in the Bernabéu. It's curled in. Good clearance though.
Yeah, it's Roberto Carlos again. He's not the tallest player, but he does climb really, really well.
Here comes Munitis, getting a whistle by the fans. Depor keeping possession. Bravo. And between him, Bravo and Zidane keep out Munitis. Here's Bravo. Looks up. Good work there. Salgado. Little flick there from Beckham. Appeals for a high foot, but it was probably more of a low head. Here comes Raúl. Always Zinedine Zidane. Dangerous there, Zidane. So's Beckham here. Can he work a shooting chance? Gives it back to Zidane. Looks up, Zidane. Chips the ball across. That was Miñambres getting up there, but the ball into the arms of José Molina. Molina sends it long.
That's just 7 minutes. I think Real Madrid need to do what they've done up till now to some extent. I think they need to keep playing. The chances should come. They've had a lot of chances. They need to inject a little bit more pace, but they don't need to panic.
There's players like Roberto Carlos who found space. Zidane's opened up spaces. Like that, for example, there is Roberto Carlos thinking about taking on Scaloni. Using his strength again, Roberto Carlos, his speed. Maybe gives Scaloni a little bit of a nudge, but they've basically swapped. Let's be honest, they've swapped nudges and they've swapped kicks all second half.
Yeah, and Scaloni is a wily player. He's quick and he's strong, but he reads people's runs very well. He doesn't read the game that well in terms of passing, but he reads other people's runs well.
Here's Zidane just trying to poke that ball through to Molina. Now Bravo popping up in attack there. Space for Beckham. Looking for one of those defence-splitting passes. There it is. Once again, Roberto Carlos peeling away, finding the space, controlling it. Zidane looking to get into the box. Clever back heel. Roberto Carlos crossing it! And there is Raúl to score the second of the night for Real Madrid. And that is a marvellous goal. Not just the finish, but the whole move.
Yeah, really, really nice move. Raúl stole in, just nudged the ball into the corner. I was saying not long ago that I thought if there was a substitution, perhaps it would be Raúl because he hasn't looked as dangerous as Ronaldo, but you can't take your eyes off him for a minute.
But the whole move was magnificent. Beckham's long pass to Roberto Carlos, the pass to Zidane, the back heel then from Zidane, and then Roberto Carlos's measured cross.
Yeah, a surprising cross actually from Roberto Carlos.
It goes over Naybet. He thought about sticking an arm out there, Naybet, and Raúl just gets in there. Look how he makes the run across the area there and loses his marker completely.
Well, I think what happens, have a look at this again. Ronaldo goes to the near post and he takes both centre-backs with him. He has Naybet on one side, Andrade on the other. The ball drops over both of them. Does Raúl enjoy that?
And of course, arriving from deep, Raúl finds that extra bit of space.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we said Madrid had the quality to score the second goal, and there, a move of real class. Beckham, Zidane, Roberto Carlos and Raúl all involved, and a magnificent goal for Real Madrid, and the result is 3.5 minutes of normal time left. Real Madrid lead 2-1 again.
I think one of the things that makes that so impressive is as well that we see Roberto Carlos getting to those positions so often. Now Roberto Carlos's normal reaction in those positions is to put his head down and fire the ball across the box hard and low. And yet that cross was so deliberately measured, high, curling, softly delivered. Look how deliberate that is. It's a great cross.
Sees the run from Raúl, and Raúl on his right foot just volleys that past Molina.
He just guides it in, doesn't he? He doesn't hit it hard, Raúl. He just brings this thing out of it, just guides it into the corner.
Ronaldo just provoking a booking for Andrade there, the third of the night. Andrade joining teammates Pandiani and Manuel Pablo in the referee's book. And here, David Beckham with a chance. He's already forced one save out of Molina with a free kick. Can he do better this time and put it into the back of the net? David Beckham just clips the top of the wall. It's still not cleared though. I think Ronaldo got into Míchel Salgado's way, yeah.
Salgado doesn't score that many goals. I think that's why he's so annoyed.
It's good thinking by Raúl there, just earning the throw-in for Madrid on the far side.
I think if Madrid do finally get the victory, although it's taken them longer than they'd have liked, I think it's deserving.
They've had the better chances, haven't they? Both teams have played nice football, but Madrid have carved out the better chances. And there, Ronaldo worked hard all night. It's been a constant threat. He's off, replaced by Solari.
Yeah, Santiago Solari, Real Madrid's classic number 12, isn't he? Always does a job. Whenever he's called upon, always does a job, whatever position he's in. I think he's a really good professional.
They'll probably just ask Solari just to fill in on the left, and Zidane will pull into a more central role, I suppose.
So, yeah.
But there's only a minute and a half to go.
Solari is chanting Ronaldo's name. The fans are chanting Ronaldo, Ronaldo. Solari's joining in.
Well, Ronaldo, who put his side ahead, of course, on the stroke of half-time. And Depor, they must have thought they were going to get something from this visit to the Bernabéu.
Still not.
Salgado turning. Miñambres, little boy. I've been quite impressed by Miñambres today.
Yeah, he's played well, hasn't he?
Showed some neat touches. And of course, if he can play at fullback as well, you know, that's a added bonus.
Yeah, it's a good sign for Real Madrid, isn't it? It's a little late.
Beckham. Ui.
Well, Beckham's been a little silly.
Ui, Scaloni and Beckham, a little bit of a wrestling match there.
It's a little silly. Scaloni's going absolutely crazy at Beckham.
Pandiani and Roberto Carlos getting involved.
Yeah, the weird thing is I think Pandiani and Roberto Carlos are getting involved with each other to tell each other not to get involved. And actually both of them, I think, went in as peacemakers.
Referee calling Beckham and Scaloni together. Let's see what he decides to do here. It's certainly a little bit of a tussle between the two. Beckham's having a little shake of his head. Raúl interceding for Beckham as he can.
Scaloni, I think, refused to shake Beckham's hand now.
Oh, was that little gesture there from Beckham and Scaloni?
I think it was. Oh, I think it was. And Scaloni is. I don't know if that's the old outside sunshine.
Well, see, Scaloni obstructs Beckham there, then Beckham just has a little go at him from behind, and then it all gets a little bit untidy. Roberto Carlos
got him very quick to try and break it up, but actually it ended up not helping very much.
I think Scaloni, you know, I mean, he's certainly dedicating a few choice words to David Beckham there. I think he's a little bit fortunate to stay on there. You know, the referee's decided it's 2 yellows, but Scaloni does lose it, doesn't he?
And they're marking each other now. This could be entertaining.
Iker Casillas gets up very well.
It's a good claim.
While we're talking,
up against Pedro Munitis, who's not the tallest guy.
While we're talking about the tension on the field, we shouldn't forget that there's still 2 minutes of this game to go. Madrid are winning 2-1, and perhaps the most important thing is the final score. But what that has done is just added a little bit of extra bite to these last 2 minutes of injury time.
Well, in that sense, that's why Beckham would have been better not getting drawn into that, because it would have been, you know, it's in Madrid's interest to take the sting out of the game now.
So this Deportivo can pump that ball into the penalty area. Just floated in. Guerra got it very well. Given away though. Trying to get it through the middle. Goodness, that wasn't far away from getting to Naybet. Zidane, however, intelligently keeping possession for Madrid, allowing the clock to tick away as they take the throw in. And here's Raúl, intelligent one from the Madrid captain. Raúl González into the area, pulls it across. Miñambres, can he? Oh, Molina made one great save and one where he just stuck out his hand.
It's a fantastic save, wasn't it?
Well,
Miñambres probably should have scored, but it was a fantastic
Could
save.
have killed the game stone dead there, Óscar Miñambres. Great play from Raúl.
It's not the first time that Real Madrid have used that clever throw down the left wing to Raúl. fact, I seem to remember them doing it in the European Cup final.
No offsides, of course, on a throw-in, as teams sometimes forget, I think.
Well, I think that's it. It's not so much that they forget, is that they set up not to defend a throw-in directly. And of course,
you've got to.
They overlook it. It's an overlook rather than a forget.
Now, Beckham having a few words now with the linesman. Got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, he needs to keep his cool, Beckham.
And referees whistling frantically. Scaloni also needs to keep his cool.
I think the two of them are rather wound up.
Fourth official seems to be in a certainly reluctant to give Scaloni the ball there. As it is, the ball's chipped forward now. Some defending to do still. Beckham gets a foot in. Challenging away. Concedes the free kick. And he's treading a bit of a thin line, David Beckham, here. No real need to give the ball away there. He's just allowing Depot one last chance. We're well over the 3 minutes of stipulated injury time, but the referee has had to stop the clock, hasn't he? This will be the last attack of the game, though, and there the ball goes over everybody and out for a goal kick. Pavon and Roberto Carlos,
the fans realise that should be the end as well.
Give each other the high five, and the referee blows the final whistle. Lionel Scaloni and Beckham having a few more words. Beckham quite cleverly keeping his hands behind his back there. There's his mate Aldo Duscher. End of the game in the Bernabéu. Tense finish, but the final score: Real Madrid 2. Goals from Ronaldo and Raúl. Deportivo La Coruña 1. That was Walter Pandiani. Madrid are back on top of the table. 3 more points in the Bernabéu. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon.